There is a particular moment that has become increasingly familiar. You check your bank account before making a purchase you can technically afford. Not because the amount is large, not because something unexpected happened, just because checking has become part of the routine. The same thing happens when a payment notification appears on your phone, or when a recurring subscription renews, or when a market decline causes an investment account to fall for a few days. Nothing dramatic occurs. Life continues normally. Work continues. Bills get paid. The apartment is still there. The paycheck still arrives. And yet the feeling remains. A low-level financial anxiety that never seems to disappear completely. What's unusual is that this feeling often survives improvements that were supposed to eliminate it. Income rises. Debt decreases. Savings grow. Investments accumulate. The conditions improve. But the anxiety frequently remains. Many people assume this means something is wrong with them, that they are worrying too much, that they simply need more confidence, more discipline, or more financial success. But the persistence of financial anxiety may have less to do with personality than people assume. Because the source of the feeling is often connected to something larger than individual financial decisions. And that larger structure becomes easier to see when we examine the assumption most people carry for years. The assumption is simple. Financial anxiety exists because there isn't enough money. Therefore, more money should eventually remove it. It's a reasonable conclusion. After all, financial pressure often appears connected to specific shortages. Not enough savings, not enough income, not enough investment growth, not enough margin between earnings and expenses. The logic seems straightforward. If anxiety comes from scarcity, then abundance should create relief. And for a period of time, it often does. The first raise creates breathing room. The first emergency fund reduces uncertainty. The first meaningful investment account produces reassurance. The first reduction in debt makes future plans feel possible. These experiences are real, but something else begins happening at the same time. The financial system does not simply reward increased resources. It encourages adaptation. The moment conditions improve, expectations begin adjusting. The apartment becomes slightly larger. The commute becomes slightly easier. The subscriptions become slightly more numerous. The lifestyle becomes slightly more expensive to maintain. None of these changes feel irresponsible. Most barely feel noticeable, but they slowly alter the financial baseline. What once felt optional begins feeling normal. What felt comfortable begins feeling necessary. And what felt like progress gradually becomes the new minimum requirement. This is where many people first notice a contradiction. The objective financial situation improves, yet the emotional experience remains surprisingly similar. Because anxiety is no longer responding exclusively to current conditions, it is responding to obligations. A person earning more may have fewer financial problems than before, but they may also have more commitments than before, more recurring expenses, more responsibilities, more expectations, more things that depend on continued income. One of the most recognizable examples appears after major career progress. A promotion is usually associated with success, higher compensation, greater security, more opportunity. Yet promotions often produce a less visible outcome. They increase the financial cost of interruption. The lifestyle gradually adapts to the new income. The mortgage becomes larger. The commitments expand. Future plans become attached to current earnings. And suddenly, the possibility of earning less becomes harder to imagine. The promotion improves financial capacity, but it may also increase financial dependence. Many people don't notice this shift while it is happening. They only recognize it later when slowing down no longer feels easy. This is where financial anxiety begins separating from actual shortage. The feeling starts reflecting dependence rather than scarcity. Dependence on continued employment, dependence on uninterrupted income, dependence on predictable markets, dependence on stable expenses, dependence on systems continuing to function exactly as expected. The visible outcome is simple. People feel worried despite being objectively better positioned than they were years earlier. The hidden driver is more subtle. Their financial lives have become increasingly interconnected. Every improvement creates new maintenance requirements. Every commitment introduces another future obligation. Every layer of convenience creates another layer that must be supported. And normal behavior reinforces the process. People save responsibly. They invest consistently. They seek stability. They reduce uncertainty. They make decisions that appear sensible. None of these actions are mistakes. In fact, most represent responsible financial behavior. But collectively, they can create a life that depends on maintaining a growing number of financial conditions simultaneously. A small realization often appears somewhere in the middle of adulthood. The freedom people imagined money would create sometimes arrives alongside responsibilities they never anticipated. The larger house requires maintenance. The better neighborhood carries higher costs. The growing portfolio demands attention. The comfortable lifestyle requires preservation. The rewards are real, but so is the maintenance burden. Financial anxiety frequently survives because the system continuously converts solutions into new baselines. The problem changes form rather than disappearing. What once created concern eventually gets solved. Then, a different source of concern takes its place, not because people are irrational, because adaptation keeps moving the reference point. This process becomes even more visible during periods of economic uncertainty. A falling investment account rarely exists in isolation. It appears alongside rising insurance premiums, higher grocery bills, increasing service costs, changing interest rates, unexpected repairs. The emotional experience becomes cumulative. People are not responding to a single event. They are responding to multiple layers of financial pressure occurring simultaneously. And over time, this changes behavior. Checking account balances becomes more frequent. Large purchases take longer to justify. Career decisions become increasingly tied to predictability. Flexibility gradually loses ground to certainty. The goal becomes maintaining the structure already built, not necessarily because the structure is ideal, but because so many other decisions now depend on it. Many people only recognize this pressure after years of pursuing security. The search for stability succeeds. Then, preserving that stability becomes its own responsibility. The irony is difficult to notice because it develops gradually. Financial anxiety often survives not because security failed to arrive, but because every increase in security also increased the amount that needed protecting. The larger the structure becomes, the more attention maintenance requires. The more interconnected financial life becomes, the more variables seem capable of affecting it. And eventually, the feeling that began as concern about having enough money evolves into something else entirely. Concern about sustaining everything that money has already built, which raises a larger question. If financial anxiety persists not because people are failing, but because modern financial life continuously transforms progress into new obligations, then what else might be changing beneath the surface every time security appears to improve? Finance Simplified explores how incentives, pressure, and adaptation shape financial behavior over time.